What's up guys, Sean Nalawani, SeanNal.com, and today's question is, what is the best time of day to work out? So does it actually make any real difference when you schedule your sessions, and is workout timing something that you should be taking into account as part of your training routine? So the answer to this question is not black and white, no surprise there, but what I will do is give you a few bits of information to work with along with my overall recommendation on the subject. So from a pure physical perspective, there technically is a best time to work out during the day, and that's going to be anywhere from the late afternoon to around the early to mid-evening time. The reason for that is because of your body's circadian rhythm and because of the way that your body activates different systems throughout each 24-hour period. So assuming you have a relatively normal sleeping and waking schedule, somewhere around 2 to 3 p.m. to about 8 or 9 p.m., that's going to be the window of time when your core temperature will be in the optimum range. You'll have increased activation and blood flow in your muscles. Your joints and connective tissues will be a bit less susceptible to injury, and you'll have the fastest reaction times as well. So in terms of raw physical performance, all things equal, that technically would be the best time of day to work out if you were wanting to fully maximize your results. Now, that said, that doesn't mean that training earlier on is necessarily a worse option, because there are going to be several other factors that come into play. For example, your body might be physically less primed for maximum performance in the morning, but if that's the time of day when you feel the most pumped up, the most motivated, and the most excited to work out, then that mental aspect alone could offset things, and you might still end up getting better workouts at that time regardless. Secondly, keep in mind that willpower tends to gradually decrease as the day goes on and as you become more mentally fatigued. And so if you work a stressful job, for example, that stress is going to accumulate throughout the day. And so even if your body is physically at its best to train at, say, 6 p.m., that mental fatigue could add up and you might still end up getting a lower quality workout as a result. Or the chances of possibly even skipping workouts, that might go up as well. Another thing to take into account is that training too late at night can also interfere with sleep. So if training at 8 p.m. gave you a higher quality workout, it could also mean lower quality sleep, which might negatively impact your focus and your recovery going into the next day. So those are some possible ways that training in the morning might actually still be advantageous. And then you also have to factor in that your body will tend to adapt its circadian rhythm to the time of day that you normally work out. So if you consistently train at, say, 11 a.m., over an extended period of time, your body will start gradually adjusting and physically priming you for that specific time of day. And then on top of that, there's also data showing that if you train early in the morning, but you use caffeine as a pre-workout, that can give your body the extra kick it needs to perform almost at the same level as it would in the late afternoon or the evening. So based on all of the different little factors that can come into play, my basic advice on this topic would be the following. So first off, if you have no real preference at all, and any time of day is equally convenient for you to train and you're wanting to fully optimize your progress in the gym, then in that case, scheduling your workouts somewhere within that late afternoon to evening range is most likely going to be your best option, because that technically is the best time of day to work out for the very best physical performance. Assuming you aren't working a highly physically stressful job and then training right after. If you do work a very stressful job, then training at lunchtime or in the morning is probably going to be a better option. Now that said, if you really prefer training earlier in the morning because you're the most motivated at that time, or because it fits your schedule best, then I wouldn't suggest that you go out of your way to change your workout timing unless fitness is your number one life priority and you're aware that switching the timing might only produce a minor increase in results in the overall picture. The motivational aspect might be enough on its own for you to match the same performance that you'd have in the evening anyway. And the other huge factor you have to take into account is long-term adherence, meaning that if you enjoy morning workouts or if training in the evening just doesn't work well with your schedule, then that's probably still going to be a better long-term strategy to train earlier on, because there's a greater chance that you'll actually stick with your program long-term. So all in all, working out a bit later in the day should theoretically produce slightly higher quality workouts, but for most average trainees, the best time of day to work out is simply going to be the time that feels best for that particular individual and that is most convenient. So thanks for watching, guys. If you found this advice helpful and you want to get all the tools you need to gain muscle and lose fat as effectively as possible, the workouts, the meal plans, the supplement guides, along with one-on-one coaching, then you can grab my complete body transformation blueprint by clicking here, or by heading over to bodytransformationtruth.com using the link in the description. If you enjoyed the video, as always, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on future videos. You can also check out my official blog over at SeanNall.com for all of my latest updates, and you can follow me on social media here if you aren't already. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.